Charles and Billy Vaden Sellers. I'm the brother of Tom Sellers. I'm the husband of Kim Asunto Sellers, and I'm the father of Eli Sellers, who is a fourth grade at Lamar Elementary. And my wife is the registered dietitian that works at Hopkins County Memorial Hospital. I am a fifth generation native of Hopkins County, and I've lived most of my adult life in this city. In my profession, I'm an assistant vice president, marketing director for City National Bank. I graduated right here at Sulphur Springs High School. I attended Texas Tech University and earned a degree in advertising and public relations and a minor in marketing. So I'm actually doing what I learned in college. And I acquired a Texas teacher certificate at Texas A&M Commerce. It's kind of hard for a tech person to say A&M Commerce, but when I got that degree, it was East Texas. It was still East Texas State University. My involvement in the community includes. Let me start out by saying that I'm very happy to be involved in this community. As I've just said, I have a lot of roots here, and I believe in giving back. I'm currently the vice chairman of the Planning and Zoning Committee. I'm a member of the Hopkins County Genealogical Society and a past president. I'm a member of the Downtown Business Alliance. I'm a member of the Hospital Foundation Board. I'm past chairman of the Hopkins County Tourism Board. I'm a member of the First United Methodist Church, former president and campaign chair of the United Way, member and past president of the Rotary Club, former president and member of the Adult Leadership Class, former board member of the Chamber of Commerce. So I have done a lot of varied service in this community. The main thing that I want to tell you tonight is I can honestly stand up here and tell you I have no personal agenda for this office. My personal agenda is that I want to be involved in the business of my hometown. I want Sulphur Springs to be the best it can be for my son and my family. And when I speak of my son and my family, I span a lot of generations. I have a 10-year-old son and I have a 90-year-old father and everything in between. So I have a lot of interest in all levels of all people in all generations of this community. We must address the issues that keep our town dynamic and vibrant. We also must be aware of our past and maintain the integrity of our city. One of the things that I do to help us remember our past is I am the Hopkins County Historical Marker Chair, and I have assisted in getting a lot of historical markers for this city and county, because those things are important for us to remember our past, and they're also the type of things that people come to see and promote tourism. We are under a council, city manager government, and we must work together to accomplish our goals for our city. The city, county, and school systems must also work together for a common good of our town. Our downtown is important. I work for an institution that has been on that square since 1889. And we had chances as we looked around and thought about expanding they've entertained over the years maybe leaving downtown, but we did not want to leave downtown. And our investment in town has been millions in the last 2 years when we've added 6,000 square feet to our building. And we're committed, along with several other entities, of staying downtown and making that the center. Sulphur Springs just needs to continue to develop an identity and be business friendly to encourage new businesses and services to our town and continue our interest in our downtown area. We all need to be involved in the business of our city, and we need to take our turns to serve. We have many things to be proud of in this city and community. To name a few, Kids Kingdom, a skate park, Buford Park, Pacific Park, and Coleman Park, great sports fields, and a safe city to live and work in. This city also has a can-do attitude proven by the success of such things as Relay for Life, the Cattle Barons Ball, and the Hospital Gala. The city also has a caring attitude shown in the display of symbols of support starting many years ago with the stars when I first moved back for Michelle Champagne, and continuing with many others, including the Star Foundation honoring the memory of Star Knuckles. I grew up admiring city leaders, school and hospital leaders, and I vowed that someday I would do my part if I was allowed to serve. I believe in Sulphur Springs. Let us work together for a better place for you, your family, me, and my family. Thank you, and thanks to the Republican Party for hosting this forum.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to open the floor up for questions, if anyone's got questions for John. But the only rules we have here is we don't ask derogatory questions. We don't make statements and then ask a question. We just ask questions of the candidates. And also, I'm going to need to get to you with a mic because we're videoing this, and it will be on HopkinsCountyGOP.org's website because we have people that can't make it tonight that do want to see what the candidates have to say. So if any of you've got a question, I'm going to turn this mic over to John, and then raise your hand and I'll bring you a mic. Come on, folks. I know somebody's bound to have a question. Our John really did a good job. Okay. If none of you have any questions for him, I'm going to scoot him on out the door. And if you got a question,
I knew I'd have one.
Just a minute. Be sure and identify yourself.
I'm Evelyn Hershey.
Hi, Miss Hershey.
I'm the 5th generation of my father's family. And I've got two more on beyond me. Your historical society and the things that you give us is very, very good. How do you feel about the way the downtown area is changed and is changing, and all of those different problems that people have brought to the city council as to that?
Right. You are absolutely correct in that I'm very aware and appreciate the historical integrity of downtown. And of course, without being on the council at the time a lot of this happened, of course, there's always parts to this that some of us are not privileged to know how everything came. But of course, I can see the results of what has come so far. When things happen, I know that probably in hindsight, which hindsight's pretty good sometimes, that there might have been some mistakes made in some of the concepts that happened with downtown. I know people have a lot of issues with Main Street. Of course, the Genealogical Society is on Main Street, and I'm very proud of Main Street. And then I think when we did Conley Street, we got it a little better. And Conley Street, I've been living there, working there on Conley Street. I've been really excited to see there has been a lot of improvement on Conley Street in the last year and a half. A lot of new businesses, buildings being redone, so that's exciting to me. I understand that we're a city with an interstate, and I understand that that is the natural tendency for towns to grow. But I also go to towns like Jefferson, Winsboro, McKinney, and some of those other places, and they have really done a nice job with restoring their downtown, respecting its historical integrity, but bringing business to there. So I hope that if I get the chance to serve on the city council, that I can continue to be involved in this process because downtown's important. We don't need to ignore it. There's 2 major industries, 3 counting the courthouse, that employ over 100 people that are right there on that square. And it's really important for us to make that a viable place to work. You're welcome.
Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, if there's no one else, John, we thank you for coming, and
Thank you very
you
much.
bet, and go on to Quitman and make a living for your wife and child. At this time, we're going to take a little break in the speaking and start doing a little eating. If you would, get you a plate and then settle back in, and then while you're eating, we're going to start the speaking. I'm going to have Charles Oxford to speak. He's the incumbent at running for place 7. I believe it's place 7, isn't it, Charles? Yeah, running for place 7. And then after we get through with the city council, we're going to go into the school board trustee. And so at this time, if y'all will just go ahead and fix yourself a plate. And don't be bashful, because these ladies are going to be not happy with me if they have to take a bunch of food home.